this reaches you on a morning, then good morning to you, and thank you for joining and listening to my podcast, Quest for You. I am naive. People told me so all my life, and I think they're right. But what is naive? According to Urban Dictionary, to be naive means you do not think enough. People who are naive tend to believe in whatever they're told without questioning whether it's right or wrong. Merriam-Webster has a few more definitions that I like. Marked by unaffected simplicity, deficient in worldly wisdom or informed judgment, self-taught, primitive. Being called naive was always a bit of an attack, while at the same time an excuse for my thoughts or actions. I did something stupid. There was the blow, but I didn't know any better. That was my innocence. You can see how being naive can be positive and negative at the same time. I lack common sense at times, but it can be excused with my naivety. I often let things come without judging them right away. Events, people, unexpected situations. I look for the positive, or I simply don't have an opinion. I stay longer than others. I give people a chance. I allow them into my life and give them space. And sometimes they take me for a spin and I notice it way too late. I don't easily get jokes. I often cannot discern sarcasm from sincerity. I laugh at the wrong moments, and I don't always grasp the severity of an issue until much later, usually when people stare at me in disbelief. I have wondered if my naivety is really just a reluctance to think a little harder and be more discerning. Maybe out of laziness or afraid to take a stance and make a decision. I don't know. But I do know I have learned a lot from being naive. It has taught me about other people and myself. Giving people a chance means getting hurt from time to time. But getting hurt often is necessary to learn more about yourself. I want to share a few snippets of what I call wisdom with you today about those people that some of us who are naive or blind or whatever you want to call it, let into our life. If you've been listening for a while, you know I believe that every person we meet serves a purpose. We can learn from even the most erratic people in our life. But sometimes these people stay too long. They linger because we allow them to, and they cause more damage than necessary. When we have learned the lesson, when we are clearer about what we really want, then it's time to move on. But often we don't. We stay. We keep investing our time and our energy into friendships, relationships, and affairs. We are naive. We have hopes where others would have given up already. We lower our boundaries and our expectations. We don't think hard enough. We are lazy. All of the above. And it's okay. It's neither good nor bad. It is what it is. Naivety will accompany me all my life, and I will not beat myself up, but I will learn from it. So here today on this podcast, in this episode, I want to share some of my lessons with you. Maybe you consider them common sense. You already know it or think you do. Then I congratulate you. Maybe you can skip this episode. But maybe, just maybe, it triggers your thoughts and you realize that you have one or more people like that in your life. People that take more than they give, that suck your energy and abuse your hope. Those people that we just don't have the courage to let go. Let me tell you, my friends, your quest for you requires your attention, your focus, and the right people to support you. Maybe you've quit drugs or alcohol or cigarettes. Maybe you run every morning. And maybe you have all your finances in order and a fulfilling job. But if there are still people in your life that drain you, then there's always something holding you back from living your fullest potential. People have an enormous impact on our life. They affect how we think and feel, and they infuse our energy with theirs. It's important that we are discerning with the people we allow in our life. Sometimes we cannot choose them, and they're just there. Maybe they're part of our family, or they're our neighbors. But the clearer we are about their intentions, the better we can manage the energy we devote to them. Sometimes we have a hard time seeing that they drain us. We are well-intentioned. We carry them, cradle them, and think we will cure them. This mission we believe to be ours makes us blind. But let me tell you, those hunches, those stings, those negative feelings, the sleepless nights because of their hurtful words, the hours waiting for them, these are not signs to be ignored. They are there to wake us up. But since we are naive and ignore them most of the time, I'd say it is time to wake up. Here are 3 characteristics I have learned to identify these people with. There are probably more, but I consider these the most important ones, and I've seen them over and over again in the people that took me for a spin. They seem obvious, but trust me, when we really like or need the other person, they tend to be rather fuzzy. 1, they don't follow through on their words. Empty talk. It's horrible. Naive people like me hang their life on words. They talk about a cool place and I start dreaming and planning. And I want to go. And maybe we go, once or even twice. But there's always more talk than action. It's difficult to detect this characteristic at first. The memories of the good times outweigh the setbacks. But there are the excuses. Tons of them. They blame work and other people, their bad luck and the circumstances. They always have reasons why they can't show up. Look closely and see how they manage their time. They are often late for the most critical meetings and the ones they have scheduled. They struggle with prioritization by focusing on the least important matters first. They are really comfortable with silence, reflected in long stretches of time when you don't hear from them. Text silence, email silence, especially after they screwed up. They avoid the answers to your questions. They have no explanations for missed meetings, and there is no follow-up on the grand ideas and plans that they proposed. They know silence will calm you and help you forget. And then they come back. Remember, you have a plan for your life. You are going somewhere. Walk with people that do the same because their plans and their actions will motivate you and push you forward. People without a clear plan hold you back. They hold your time and your energy hostage. It's best to let them go and give them the opportunity to find themselves. Disconnecting from them not only frees you, it gives them the space to reconsider their actions and figure out what is important. You know when that happens because sometimes they come back. They realize they miss you, need you more than they thought. Be careful. Unless they have a strong purpose in their life, a vision that guides them, they will only fall back into the same patterns. And then, and this is point number 2, you are just a means to an end. I know, it's harsh, especially for naive people like me who believe the entire world means well. But many people live by an agenda instead of by their heart. They have an internal checklist they go by. They identify the means that they need to get from A to B. And these means are often other people. And unfortunately, sometimes it's us. We meet, we like each other, we have things in common, and we don't realize the conflicting objectives right away. Here is how you can detect if you are just a tool that gets them somewhere. They only show up for specific occasions. Maybe you are a good drinking buddy, a convenient lover, an excellent listener, or maybe you just have a nice car that they like to ride in. They are reluctant to go along with your plans. They don't have time to work out with you or accompany you to your work dinner. It's not part of their agenda. They are present when they need something, but missing in action when you do. I struggle with this because the need can be hidden behind something that you actually enjoy. Shopping, climbing, eating dinner. These are fun activities, and it almost sounds like an invitation when they ask you to participate. But look carefully. They simply follow their urges. They don't ask you because you enjoy this activity or because they want to spend time with you. They simply want to do it. Test them. Ask for something you want to do, and you will see. They are busy when you need their shoulder to cry on. And we often think that all of this is fine. We know they need us, and it feels so good to be needed. We are great at putting our needs on the side anyway. But quickly, we get lost. Our quest for you turns into a quest for them. We give and they take. And to top it all off, which is characteristic number 3, they doubt you. When we do begin to question things, when we open up and share our feelings, instead of a sympathetic response, openness, generosity, kindness, a willingness to see mistakes and to improve, they reflect it all back on you. They doubt you, they question you, they defend themselves, and you walk away thinking it's all you. They don't take responsibility, and this hurts. And it's often at this point when we wake up a little bit because of the pain in our heart. That's when we realize that maybe we were a little bit blind, a little too naive, and that it's time for change. I encourage you, make the change. Don't put up with it any longer. I still believe that everyone is inherently a good person, but not everyone belongs into my life. And it's often not one single characteristic that I can name, but rather a series of actions and behaviors that add up to the person that is not part of my quest. These 3 often come together in one person. We all make mistakes. We all sometimes take more than we give. After my divorce, I lived with my friend for 5 months. I clearly took more than I could ever give back. Sometimes we need their car, their shoulder, even their money. But sometimes means it's rarely, and the balance eventually shifts back. I read this quote somewhere that doesn't have an author. You cannot change the people around you, but you can change the people that you can choose to be around. My dear friends, continue with your naivety. It's genuine, it's innocent, and it is who you are. But take a look around you and make sure others are not taking advantage of it. See where your energy goes and ensure you're not getting lost with the conflicting intentions of others. Follow your path. Be strict with your direction. Don't give in too easily. The right people will click themselves into your life almost without noticing, and they will not leave you hurt, hanging, or doubting yourself. So much love.